Hello legends and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast episode 362. Today, as you can see, my energy levels are back to fairly normal. I'm still coughing a lot, but significantly less than yesterday. The stuff or reminder of virus is still clearing up from my system, but it looks like I'm winning the battle, so it's good news, especially for me, because I hear that a lot more people are falling down due to that infection, both in Ireland and around Europe, specifically Poland, and I think I heard about Germany, Spain, and some colleagues in the US also reported that it seems like it's circulating. Oh, and England, I mean the UK in general, so Scotland, England, Wales. So there is definitely some form of new strain that is probably hitting us all, vulnerable people, especially if some of you either have naturally more sensitive immune system or weaker immune system, and then you probably need to work on it to strengthen it, or like me, I don't expect you, but some of you might be close to doing dumb stuff like myself, where I decided to go a couple of nights in a row and stay over, not overnight totally without sleep, but I was going way past midnight and went to bed around 2-3 a.m. and then waking up around 8 or 9 a.m. So that's definitely not enough sleep. It's not the same quality sleep, even if I would sleep 8 hours, but started that at 2-3 a.m. That's completely different type of sleep, and if you do that, you're already missing out on very important repair stages or phases of sleep. So I know that the only one to blame is me for what I felt and how I felt in recent days. Although it's easy and I would be happy to blame somebody else, the truth is, probably if I would sleep normally, I might still get that virus, but it might have ended then with maybe just 1 or 2 days of slight runny nose and a bit of cough, but not as strong of a hit that I've got this time. So I'm currently going to get some groceries and get dinner done. It's Friday, so the work day was, I would say, an average one. It was definitely a bit lighter on the tasks that I was doing, because I still consider myself not fully focused on stuff that I'm doing, but that's about it. Nothing fancy happened today, nothing to highlight about, but what I want to do, hopefully today, if I manage to get that dinner done fairly quickly, is to stitch together another part of this update, but I can't promise it will happen. The aim is to go out and use the remaining daylight, and head on to Eni and check my spots where I found the birch polypore, the one that I wrote about yesterday and the day before. I want to film how to forage it for it, where or how can you find it, how does it look like in the wild, and then obviously later on I'll try to also film it at home. How do I cut it, prepare it for drying, and probably much later I will film when it's done and dried to the cracker state. It's not a video that you need to have, to be honest, but I think it will be nice complement to the whole set. So the first video will be the foraging bit in the forest. Second will be preparing to dry it up at home. So these two, if they happen today, I will stitch them together and attach to this one, which is already 6 minutes long. So I need to make sure that I won't cross the half an hour episode, because Spotify doesn't allow for more than 30 minutes. And obviously the drying bit, post-drying bit, I need to wait a good couple of days or weeks until they dry properly. So this is the main thing. If you want to have the, you know, the polypore supply for using it every day, like I did that kind of herbal tea yesterday, then obviously you need to dry a little bit of it up front to make sure that you have enough supply before you find another one and dry it up. If you are interested in getting that polypore foraged, dried up and prepared for you, I might think about creating a little shop or whatever and start supplying it to you guys if you want. No problem at all. I've never done it really in that format, but if there is demand, no problem at all. I'll make sure that I can deliver. If you're afraid of foraging, which you shouldn't, because birch polypore is one of those mushrooms that it's very hard to mistaken with other mushrooms, and especially there's no mushrooms that would be toxic per se, as long as you know a couple of characteristics and you make sure that you recognize the tree. It should be fairly easy. So I don't want to, you know, make money on people being scared of foraging. I will just probably create a shop for those of you that are less scared but more like just don't want to do the labor. So I can do labor for you and you can get the benefits of the polypore. So for now, let me just cut it off. It might be the end of this episode for today if I don't manage to go out, but if I will, then you should see further part or continuation in a second. In the meantime, thank you very much for coming and see you in another episode. All right, guys, I managed to get out before the sunset. It's already getting quite dark, but I wanted to see if I can find one of the polypores so I can show you. This is one of the birches that are laying down and decaying. This is where you are likely to get the polypore. So let me show you this one is a fresh polypore just popping up, so I'll leave it alone. Then this one is a very old polypore. These are useless. You can see it's being eaten by different bugs and snails, so these are not useful at all. Here is another one that you can see. It's just popping and growing slowly. Here's a place after one that I took some time ago, and also here are places, and this is the old one, obviously not useful, as you can see, a lot of bugs. But this one, there are two. There's one small here that actually fell off, so I'll take it. There's no use for it on the tree because it's already detached, so I'll take it. But you should be looking for much bigger ones. This one is still kind of spongy, but it seems like it's getting a little bit shallow already. You can feel it under your fingers. So you want it to be properly spongy, and I mean very, very rubbery, right? Like, because if it's too spongy, then it means it's probably dry inside a little bit. But this one is fairly, I would say, a bit small for what I take, but it can do. So you can just gently pull it away from the tree, or just tear it, and you can see. So this is where I tore it. It's whitish inside, and it's beautifully white on the bottom. That's a fresh one, slightly brownish at the top. It smells lovely. It smells proper fungus, so you will know you found the right one. Let me just explore a bit and see if I can find more. I found a couple more, but the old ones, so you can see these were popping up, and you can feel that you can even hear when you hit them. They're quite shallow inside. This one is shallow. This one is very woody and kind of black at the bottom, so it's definitely the very old one. They're probably last year's polypore, so no use of them, but still cool to find. Let me explore further. She's not liking my presence here. She was one of the, I would say, more brave ones, not too shy. I can't find anything else for now. You can see birches here and here. I don't see any polypores, especially that these are living trees, so unless they get thick or a bit unhealthy, then you won't find anything in there. Let me go further. Okay, so while I can see a couple of birch trees falling down and potential for future development of polypores, I found something else that I want to show you. And this is another medicinal mushroom. You can see it here, and it's also on the birch at the moment. So there's plenty of them. They're very specific fungi, and they're also used to dry and then used kind of making a herbal tea out of them. They are not always the same color as here. They might change it. They might be greenish. They might be kind of amber color, or a very different variety of colors. But they are characteristically with that white edge. They are quite thin, and they are inedible. They are like a thick paper, but they have a lot of interesting features in terms of medicinal use, especially for immune system, etc. These are called turkey tails. I believe the second part of the name in Latin is versicolor, which means multicolor, and that exactly describes how different they are in color. So I'll take them as well, because I was looking for them for quite a while. So it's a nice find outside of those small polypores and a bit of chanterelles. Yes, so that's it. I found another fallen or cut birch tree that has a great potential, but it's too fresh to develop any polypores yet. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe this, maybe next year. But I wanted to say goodbye with that beautiful sunset behind me. So I hope you enjoyed today's short trip to Ini, where I tried to find the polypore. I found a couple of turkey tails and also chanterelles, but the daylight is fading. Tomorrow is a stormy day. We're going to Dublin for the whole day, so I won't have any chances to check forest for anything. Maybe Sunday. We'll see. In the meantime, stay tuned for next episode. See ya.